Hello guys, Chris back here again with another episode of Historic Brawl. Today we're actually going to be playing a zombie-based deck with Ludwig as our commander. Historic, of course, so we have a lot more options to play with. Ludwig isn't the best zombie commander. Like, there are plenty of other zombie commanders that are just strictly better options for you. But he's one of the new commanders I want to try him out. Come down as early as turn 2, which is real nice. Looks like we're up against another tribal deck. We were up against another tribal deck. Our opponent, who was playing, I assume, Fish Tribal, Merfolk, as they say back in the day, has scooped out on us, which is a shame. But does get us some XP, which is always nice. But I don't know, these last few weeks getting XP has been really easy, because this is the new set, and things have been a little bit hectic here and there with rotation, and you just had a little bit more fresher experience. But now that things have started to consolidate, competition's getting harder. Seen a lot more of a couple of cards from our early crafting season that I thought were going to do well. Rin and 7 being the primary one of them. I've not seen as much of the new Teferi. Would have liked to see some of the new Teferi, but what can you do? We'll keep this against another tribal deck in Abomination of Llanowar. Man, we are checking all the boxes today. They probably don't know that we are a tribal deck yet, but we are opponent. So elves as a tribe is probably just better than our tribe. Not dissing the zombies or Innistrad as a whole or that kind of thing, but yeah, the whole ramp package with your tribal is just really good. Now our opponent knows we're a zombie tribal deck, because you don't play Death Baron if you're a Ludwig value-based deck. Although our opponent may not have picked up on it. Sometimes players won't always check what's being milled. We have a Crux of Fate in this deck, so if we can find that, we'll probably be okay. I don't know if we'll reach it in time. Opponent thinking over their options. They have 4 mana to play with here. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if snow mana was used, creature and a +1/+1 counter. Okay. Not bad. So our question of the day is Spark Reaper, Adversary, or Mass? I guess we could also go for that, but I'm gonna go for a Mass. I don't want to lose Ludwig. So we cost 5 mana to get yourself a 4/4 at the lowest rate, which is not good. And where are our ways off from? If our elf opponent is merciful, we'll have a long enough game to actually get somewhere. How much is that elf? That actually might be worth adding into a historic elf tribal deck. 2 mana seek, 2 mana draw. It's basically a better elvish visionary if you're running it, right? Don't remember that card, but I might look into it when I revisit elves, which I will be doing at some point in the near future. It's been a while since we've played some elves on the channel. Played them in historic, played them. We haven't played them in standard because they're not really that competitive in standard, but so us and the opponent have put in the same amount of work, and the results are, as you might expect, staggeringly different. Yeah, that's just how it goes, honestly. 2 mana lords is kind of something our deck wants, and like Blade Stitch Scab is kind of what we're looking for, but it's like not really what we're looking for, you know? Because pumping power is nice, but it's not the same as pumping both the power and the toughness. Yep, they have a 3/3, a 5/4, a 4/4, a 4/4, a 3/3, a 3/5, and a 10/10. Meanwhile, we have a 2/3, a 2/2, a 2/1, a 3/3, and a 2/3. We in theory have the same amount of stopping power, but we don't because do we just get ourselves another scab? Or do we get down another Death Touch body? Or do we try to get our land drop so we can make Ludwig into a Death Baron? I think I want to go with the Death Touch. I just really need to disincentivize our opponent from attacking us. And having a backup Death Touch creature is a way to do that. But if they have Critter Hoof, it's just game. Our zombies cannot resist a hoof. We can disincentivize an attack, but we can't stop an attack, you know? I don't know if I actually have played any historic Merfolk Brawl. I think about our last opponent, but Merfolk probably the pretty fun deck for historic. Might be something for the future to look into. Opponent is weighing over their options. Marwyn the Nurturer is coming down to say hello. She starts off with a 4/4, which is real nice for our opponent. So our goal is to pick off lords and things that will kill us. Their goal is to get things through that will kill us without having too much of their stuff picked off. We cannot convincingly pick off anything, really. Tainted Adversary. You can go under the Abomination of Lanor bus. Abomination dies, and then they just recast it. Showing us the futility of trying to outvalue an elf deck. Because for the elves, there's always more mana to be had. And if luck goes our way, we'll get to do the same dance next turn. Although it doesn't appear as though luck will go our way, as the elves are pretty much off the board. Oh, yeah. That's not how that works, opponent. Sorry about that. Pay 1. We want to be that guy. We pass. Yeah, so what happened there for the last turn is the way adapt works, if it already has a counter on it, it can't adapt. So our opponent tried to adapt something that could not be adapted. Are we dead? Probably. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we're going to do a game 3. Because our first game wasn't a game, and our second game was kind of just getting trashed. Which I know I started off by saying that Ludwig isn't the most powerful, but like if you give him a fair chance, he actually can do some fun things. It's just a little bit hard to find a fair chance out there, you know? Tiamat seems like it could be a fair chance. Depends on how degenerate they went with the build. Keep. So we'll open up with Crypt Breaker. Crypt Breaker is one of those cards that got snuck into Historic that's actually just really, really good. For those of you who haven't seen it, you can discard and to make a 2/2, and then you can draw. Right. Fetid Pools comes down. Perish comes down. Perish was in my opening hand. That probably should have been the first play, but I was just so enamored to talk about Crypt Breaker that I kind of just let it lead the show. But Crypt Breaker is a really good card. Gain 1 life, draw a card, all you gotta do is tap. Our opponent is not letting us have an easy go of it. So here's a question. I think we go Endling here. Yeah, I don't think there's a way they can actually get to really. All right, we pass the turn. We can commit their commander when they try to play it, which they will, because that's how these kind of Timmy decks work. So return that one. That's what you get, opponent. Ludwig comes down. He'll be a good boy. Yeah, resolve. Resolve. Doesn't really do anything, so I don't really care. So our problem here now is that the dragon comes down. Although Lathlis does get shuffled away unless they search it up, which is a small victory. So we just got rid of all the dragons. And this should help us shore up our life total. Well, not shore up our life total, win the race by a bit. You had to do that, didn't you? Old Gnawbones. That's probably per game. We have 1 and 1. Man, our search for a fair matchup has not gone very well. I mean, this has been kind of fair. Tiamat has pretty much won this in like the most dirtily value-based way possible, but it's hard to look across the table and see 16 treasures and think fair, you know? We're gonna let this go for a bit because I do like dragons, and watching our opponent go off when they're this close to killing us isn't too painful. Rise from the Dark Realms? Don't tell me you run counter spells in your dragon deck. So, we are dead, but Sword to Plowshare. Wow. Well, that is what we have time for today. Sorry about how just awful these games were. Like, we got well, we did get a win from a concede, but we just got trashed the last 2 games in a row. Although, on the plus side, of the 3 games, we did not run into a single non-tribal deck. So, the tribal showdowns were real. Just turns out that elves are better than zombies, and dragons are better than zombies. But zombies are still better than fish people, and that's what counts. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.